So guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I have the Bytech LED Infinity Mirror speaker. Now you can find this at Five Below, under $10 of course. I find it interesting that this can apparently be attached to two speakers, but for this review I'm only going to do one right now. So just keep that in mind. Let's talk about some specifications real fast. This has Bluetooth 5.3, 5 wattage of sound apparently, the output. It says right here it has 3 hours of battery life, and it takes up to 3 hours to charge. So at least it has a decent battery life in terms of charge time. It's pretty much the same for the most part. You also have Bluetooth. You have USB TF card for those that use SD cards. We're not going to do that part of the review, but we are going to talk about the radio, the Bluetooth aspect, how to sync it, and pretty much go from there. So with that being said, let's unbox this together and see if it's actually worth the asking price. All right, so this is going to be everything that comes inside of this. We have a USB-C cable right here. All right, it's pretty short, but don't worry. If you have your own USB-C, you're good to go. You do have your instruction manual right here, which we'll go over in the next section. And then we have the speaker itself, and it looks like there's nothing else inside of the box right here. Okay, so this is the speaker. As you can see, it does have the reflection right here. I'm going to go ahead and power this on. Let me see if there's the physical on button or not. It is. So on the back of it, you have a microphone. Get out of here. So I'm guessing that you probably can use this to actually do, what, karaoke or something, because it does have the microphone option. But it's Five Below. I don't expect anyone to really honestly use this, but the option is available. You have your aux cable, the LED light, USB-C on and off. You do have your USB-A right here, and then you have your micro USB slot right there. I'm going to power that on. Okay. Interesting. So that's how it looks in the front when it's powered on. That's the mirror aspect where it looks like you're actually kind of walking into it, like you're walking into a hallway. I think that's a pretty cool aesthetic for a speaker that's under $10. The build quality, I like it. It looks pretty nice in my opinion. It does look like cheap plastic if we're being completely honest, but it is Five Below. But given the sheer size of the speaker, the style, I think that a lot of people would definitely like this. On top of this, you also have your plus minus, which will probably double down as changing songs and volume up and down. Also, this is more likely what you'll use to change the radio station, but we'll go over that in a different section. You have your pause and play right here. Let me flip this. And then you have your mode, which for anyone that's watched my reviews, 9 times out of 10, mode is going to be what you'll use in order to switch between the different features. But so far, I do think that this is a pretty nice looking speaker. But for right now, I'm going to put this to the side because we need to go over these instructions. So for the person out there that might have lost the instruction manual, here we are. So here's the Bytech. You have your first page over here. It shows you how to charge it, as you can see. Gives you pairing options. It'll let you know what this headset is going to be called. BY-BS-167. Now, I haven't had to type in any passwords whatsoever for years with Bluetooth, but I guess certain older devices, like older phones, might require you to do so. But 9 times out of 10, all you have to do is just search the Bluetooth and tap it, and it'll automatically pair, and it'll do the code generated for you. But we'll go through that in the next section also. Now, look right here where it says the mode. Remember I talked about that? You have the microphone, the aux charging port, power on and off, the card slot, the TWS function. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any way of doing the TWS function right now because I only have one, so I can't connect both of these. But depending on how many views this video gets, if you guys actually like the speaker, like in terms of quality of sound, I'll go ahead and do the double video, but I'll actually do it this time because sometimes I forget. Light flashing mode. So apparently this has a light mode, which I did not know. So if you hold the mode button for 3 to 4 seconds, the light will actually change. Let's do that right now before we go any further in this video. 3 to 4 seconds, we hold it. Did it change? I'm guessing it changed because now it's doing this little spiral thing right here. Let me try it again. Yeah, if you hold a couple seconds, it just changes. Different colors. Okay, so that's interesting. It's not even 3 seconds. In reality, it's like if you hold it for about 1.5 seconds, it changes. Okay, you actually have the option to turn it off for that person that doesn't like the lights. I am curious to whether the lights actually blink along with the songs. We'll check that out in a second. Okay, so interesting. Is there anything on the back? No, there's nothing on the back. So I'm going to do this one more time for anyone that wants the instructions. Here you go. Go ahead and screenshot that or take a picture of it, depending if you're on a PC or something. So that way you have the information for this speaker moving forward. Now, with that being said, let's go on to the next section. Now, for anyone wondering, the moment you power the speaker on, according to the instructions, it's going to put itself in Bluetooth pairing mode. So I'm going to go ahead and take this phone right here. And we are going to go to the settings. Let's see. I do apologize. This is a little slow. I'm starting to think that I need to use a more up-to-date phone for these reviews, but I'll switch this out eventually. Let's see here. Pair new device. See what pops up. Nothing so far. Here we go. BY-BS-167. That is the Bluetooth that we need. I'm going to go ahead and tap that. For Android users, it's going to ask you, well, no, it may not ask me. Let me be quiet. I know with Apple users, when you tap Bluetooth and you tap pair, it automatically does it. With Android devices, it tend to ask you if you want it to read your contacts and call history and things like that. I don't know what's going to happen this time, but it didn't pair yet. That's odd. There we go. It just took a little bit longer for it to pair, but now it is paired. Now, the delay might have been because I'm using a old-fashioned Android phone. That's probably what it was with a worse Bluetooth. But either way, if you follow these simple instructions, syncing this device is going to be super, super simple. All right, so we're going to go through two songs. One is Ice and Fire. The second one's going to be Warzone. So I'm going to do Warzone first, which I normally do in these videos, just to kind of gauge how decent the quality of sound is, and I want you guys to hear it along with me. Here we go. I'll turn it up in a second. So far, it sounds pretty good. No breakage in music whatsoever. I'm waiting for the bass. Not bad at all. Okay. This is very, very clear. So, let's say you listen to this at 100%. I didn't hear any music breakage whatsoever, which means that the drivers in the speakers is actually pretty good. Now, what I will say is if you're in a room by yourself, the speaker volume isn't bad. If you're in a room with another person having a conversation, I'm going to tell you now that it's a possibility that your voice can drown out the quality of the music. Meaning it's not like a club where club music, you can talk and you can still barely hear yourself. The music overpowers you. This isn't going to give you that feeling. Obviously, it's a Bluetooth speaker. I know some people may say, oh, you're exaggerating a little bit. No. I have to kind of just compare it to higher end speakers so you can have a gauge of how well it sounds. But if you're inside of a room, like I have my own private computer room at home. I have my own, obviously I live in an apartment, me and my wife together, we have our property. And when we play music, we normally walk around with speakers, which she does. And whether she's watching a TV show or certain things, I do believe that this is loud enough where you can walk from room to room, like let's say dining room to kitchen comfortably and still be able to hear your podcast or listen to your songs. And you can still vibe out to that. But if you start having conversations or something happens outside or you hear other noise around you, this is going to be drowned out a little bit. It doesn't have the loudest sound, but it still is pretty strong in my opinion. I like the way it sounds. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and play, was it Ice and Fire? Here we go. I want to hear how the vocals are going to be. Sounds really good so far. Hear the instruments. They mesh very well with this Bluetooth. I like this. I like the way that it looks. This is a beautiful looking speaker. Get out of here for under $10. I like this. Baby, you give me ice and fire. Okay. You're giving me wind and rain. The vocals are strong. It sounds good. I don't feel like any of the bass sounds pretty good. The bass isn't super strong. I give it like a 5 out of 10. 5 being average. Don't think that rating is bad because I think that when bass is average, it means that it just works all the way around. It works all the way around with the music. The vocals are a little louder than the other instruments that I've noticed so far. And I have tried other songs off camera, but those are copyrighted songs, so I'm not allowed to, play that without being monetized. So anyway, it does sound pretty good. Now, again, if you're listening to this and you don't have a Bluetooth speaker, like you don't have a JLab, a Soundcore, or any type of speaker, and you buy this for a certain price tag, I don't think that this is a bad speaker at all. As a matter of fact, whether you decide to hook this up to a Nintendo Switch or Steam Deck or some other device, it is possible to do that. And the speaker works very, very well. I didn't hear any lag. Like a lot of times, with cheaper speakers, when you hook them up to gaming systems or other devices, there's like a lag latency where the gunshots or footsteps or something is behind. And so far, it hasn't been that way. And as a person that is a Steam Deck user and a Nintendo Switch user, I actually happen to like the speaker. Now, granted, the battery life is a little short, the 3 hours. But for a person, you can just plug it in and just use it as is, and you'll be perfectly fine. I like it. And just look at the way it looks. This is a really cool looking quality speaker. And also for the person out there that doesn't like the lights or may have some type of issue with lights, you can just turn it off. So that's also a nice little feature, attention to detail that I like that they decided to add to this. But yes, the quality of sound is pretty good. I know I'm rambling. I don't really have anything bad about this to say about the sound whatsoever. This is pretty good. I was expecting it to be underperforming, but this is definitely above expectations. And I do suggest this so far if we're just talking about aesthetic and sound alone. So oddly enough, on the back of this box, and I'm going to turn this on right now, this says that it has radio mode, right? But for whatever reason, it doesn't actually give you the instructions in order to use the radio mode. And I'm not joking when I say that. So if you open this up, there is absolutely nothing here that signifies that this has a radio mode. It tells you how to Bluetooth it, and that's pretty much it. Now, this is what I do when it's TWS function right here with 2 speakers. So it'll let you know how to actually sync 2 speakers, which I'm going to show you in another video when I actually get the second speaker. I have to pay for it. But outside of that, it's not showing you anything else. As a matter of fact, it says FM radio, Bluetooth, aux, USB, TF card, TWS function. But it's not telling you how to put it in Bluetooth. So when I tap this, right? No, well, not Bluetooth. You just turn it on and put it in Bluetooth. When I hit mode once, right? I'm going to turn it down. That sounds like this would probably be the radio mode. So as I'm looking at this on the back, I'm like, okay, what do I press from here in order to actually get it to sync radio stations? Because if I tap mode again, it's just going to switch it back over to Bluetooth. If I hit volume up or down, it's just going to change the actual volume of the headset itself. And if I hit pause or play, I would assume that it was supposed to, kind of search through the radio stations, but it's not getting anything. So that's what I'm guessing. Maybe it could be the location that I'm in right now, but it's not picking up any radio stations whatsoever, as you can see. Yeah, nothing's playing. Every time I press pause, nothing's playing. Now, I don't know if I have to be in an area where the antenna has to be better, or there's not very great antennas inside of this thing, but it is not working for the radio. I also want to just say one more aspect about this review. If you look at the back of this, now the reason why I'm not going to review the SD card slot is for one main reason. Most people that buy this is going to use it for their Bluetooth. You have Spotify, you have iHeartRadio, you have Apple Radio, you have YouTube. You can basically use this as a speaker. So whatever you stream off of, or even if you have music on your primary phone, like I did through Bluetooth when I showed you that section, you could just play music directly through the speaker. Now, granted, the SD card slot, you got to plug this up to a computer or some type of dongle. You're going to have to put music or on the actual SD card and then place it inside, then go to mode and switch it over. And by the time you do all of that, let's be realistic here, it's a lot faster and easier to just use your device, your mobile device, or your computer or anything like that. And yeah, I mean, it's a nice speaker, don't get me wrong. I am a little disappointed about the FM feature. The ironic part is that I won't even use the FM radio at all, ever. But it says it's available. I'm going to assume that I'm in a bad location in terms of service signal, and that's why I can't actually pick up any radio stations. But that's all I got for that section. So all in all, I don't think that this is a bad speaker. Let's go over it. You have a 3-hour battery life. Sounds pretty good. The volume on this is decent enough where it can fill up a full room. If you have a group of friends, a couple people sitting in a room with you, I do feel like that your voices are going to overpower the speaker where you're not going to be paying attention to the music in the background. That's not a big deal to me. The speaker's still under $10. It says it had FM radio, even though I couldn't get it working. It does have the option for the SD card slot to put music on it. All of those features are nice, but if we're being completely honest here, as a practical user in 2024, I'm only interested in the speaker. Technology has gotten so far to the point where I don't think we need to put SD card slots in speakers anymore. That's very, very, very old-fashioned. I'm in my 30s, trust me, I know. That's old-fashioned. And outside of that, it just sounds good. The speaker looks nice in my opinion. It's pretty sturdy for the most part. It didn't break apart like the cheaper speakers that I normally have at Five Below. It works well. You have the option to hold this mode button for a second, which allows you to actually change what's it called? You could change the coloring of the speaker itself. So if you hold it, you can actually turn it off for the person that might have epilepsy or some form of flashing colors. You have the option to turn it off, and I do like attention to detail because this is a speaker that will work for anyone. Now, will it outperform a Bose? Obviously not. Will it outperform some of the name brand speakers that you can get at Walmart and other places? No, it won't. But for the asking price, the presentation of the box, I think that this does, it comes off, even though it's not a premium product, it comes off as being well put together. And I think if you give it to someone as a gift, I bundle gifts like this, headphones and different things, I think that they would definitely like it. Now, the best aspect about it is that this does connect to 2 speakers apparently, which I'm going to buy another one. At the time of me posting this review, I'm currently buying another speaker so that I can sync them together for another video. But I do like this. It's not bad, especially for the asking price. Anyway, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, take care. Peace.